Welcome to this ESFA video, providing you with a summary of the changes and a walkthrough of the related party transactions online form. From the 1st of September 2023, the online form includes new features to support Academy Trusts when declaring all expenditure related party transactions and seeking approval where necessary to the ESFA. You can submit transactions for the previous, current or next academic year only. After logging into your account, you'll be taken to the home page. Please review the related content by selecting the links on the right-hand side of the page before starting your submission. These links provide useful additional guidance on the reporting of related party transactions. After listening to your feedback, we have introduced a new key feature to the online form, which allows you to save your progress and continue the submission at a later time. You can now see the Save and Exit button throughout the submission journey, which allows you to save the information you input in the form, exit midway, and continue the submission later. To continue with the saved submission, simply log back into the online form and select Continue Save Transaction in the home page. If you want to start a new submission when a saved submission is in progress, you will be given the option to delete the saved submission or cancel the new submission. If you have multiple users, each user can have one submission in progress. The process of starting a new submission remains the same. After selecting a supplier or creating a new supplier, you are prompted to enter a transaction start date. Transactions starting before the 1st of September 2023 are subject to ATH 2022 requirements. This video will focus on transactions starting on or after the 1st of September 2023. Here's a demonstration on submitting a new transaction using the form. Here is the home page. First, we click on Submit New Transaction. Then you will see a list of your existing suppliers. You may pick a supplier from the supplier list or create a new supplier record. Firstly, we will create a new supplier by choosing Create a New Supplier and then click Continue. If the supplier is a limited company, you will then be asked to enter the company number and continue with the journey. You may also choose Other and tell us the supplier type. Then let's enter a supplier name. Say for example 123 College, and then click Continue. Next, enter the supplier address. And then click Continue. Now select one option which best describes the supplier. If the options listed do not apply, you can choose none of the above, and a text box will appear. You can then type a description of the supplier. For my supplier, 123 College, I'm going to choose State Funded College and then click Continue. If the supplier is a sponsor of the Academy Trust, choose Yes for the answer, otherwise choose No. Then select the statement which best describes the relationship between the Academy Trust and the supplier. You may choose more than one option. If none of the above applies, you can choose none of the above and describe the relationship in the text box. For my submission, the Academy Trust is entering into a transaction for the supply of goods and or services with a trustee of the Academy Trust. Then choose if it's a subsidiary company, an associate company, joint venture, or none of the above. For the next question, confirm if the trust received a donation from the supplier. For the answer yes, two follow-up questions will appear and ask you about the type of donation. Select one option and explain if the donation had any attached conditions. Now you'll get to the Check Your Answers page. You can review the answers and then continue the transaction journey. If you want to amend existing supplier details, please contact us using the ESFA inquiry form. A transaction with a religious authority for the provision of services that are fundamental to the Academy Trust's religious character or ethos and not related to trade services does not require ESFA approval. For transactions starting on or after the 1st of September 2023, this also applies to transactions under £40,000 or where the supplier is a school, college or university that is the trust sponsor or with a state-funded school or college. Now let's walk through the approval not required route. Enter the transaction start date. The transaction start date must be in the previous, current or next academic year and click continue. Enter the end date on the following page. The transaction end date must be the same or later than the transaction start date. And then continue to enter the transaction value. When entering the transaction value, please remember to enter the full amount of the transaction. For example, a transaction value of £60,000 comprising an estimated £20,000 per year over 3 years must be declared as £60,000, and it is important the start and end dates also cover the 3-year period. So the transaction with 123 College for 1 year and the value is £20,000. The next screen, you can tick multiple boxes to describe the type of transaction as well as providing additional information if required. The following screen asks you to confirm if the transaction relates to the appointment of an accounting officer or a chief financial officer that is not an employee of the trust, and for confirmation if that the transaction is considered to be novel, contentious and/or repercussive. If you answer yes to either of those questions, continue with the submission and a colleague from the ESFA will be in contact to discuss additional approvals required for these transactions. Answer the remaining questions concerning procurement procedures, internal delegation levels when agreeing the transaction and conflict handling, register of interests and cost requirements. Where the answer is no, a text box appears for you to add some further explanation. Once you have completed the questions, you can review your submission on the Check Your Answers page, and you can click the back button on the top left of the page if you want to change the answers. If all the answers are correct, scroll down the page and choose Continue. Remember that your submission cannot be changed once submitted. The next page, you are required to enter the contact details, and there is a declaration section. If everything is all complete now, click Save and Submit to submit your RPT. You will then see a screen confirming your submission, and we can see that it states that approval is not required. You can select a link to download a PDF version of your submission, and you will also receive an email confirming a transaction has been submitted. Let's have a demonstration on the approval required route of the transaction journey. Where the transaction requires approval, the form will guide you through the standard procedure to submit your transaction with supporting evidence. There is also an approval required checklist that can help you prepare evidence before you start your submission. For this example, our supplier is a private company that is not a state-funded or private school, college or university, or religious authority. Our transaction start date is the 1st of September 2023, ending on the 31st of August 2024, and they are providing training and consultancy services at the transaction value to the amount of £50,000. A new feature of this online form allows trusts to upload evidence for each question instead of uploading all the evidence at the end of the submission. We listened to your feedback and have acted on this to ensure trusts are clear on what evidence is required for each section of the submission. There are hint texts to prompt you about what evidence could be. Please upload evidence that's relevant to support the ESFA in providing a determination. And again, please answer all remaining questions and review your submission as it cannot be changed afterwards. Then complete the declaration. The online form will confirm when the submission is complete, and again, you can download the PDF document detailing the submission. The ESFA will provide you with a determination or more information request within 10 working days. For transactions requiring more information, you can upload evidence to us via IDAMS. You will be able to see our comments at the top of the More Information submission page. At the bottom of the page, there is a section titled Upload Evidence, and you can upload the required files here. You can enter a description for each piece of uploaded evidence to provide further explanation. The status field will be updated to Passed to confirm the evidence has been successfully uploaded. And you can also find documents uploaded by the ESFA from the page. We hope this video has been helpful in highlighting the changes to the online form. Please refer to the Academy Trust Handbook and rpt.gov.uk pages for additional guidance and support. If you have any questions, please contact us via the ESFA inquiry form. You can also use this form to provide feedback to help us continue to improve our service, or use the feedback function within the online form. Thank you for your engagement with related party transactions.